Ahead of the United Nations UN General Assembly slated for September 2025, the President of France, Emmanuel Macron, on Thursday issued a statement and said that France will recognize the State of Palestine at the UN coming meeting of heads of states as a way to put an end to the war in Gaza so that the civilian populations in the Palestinian city can be rescued, also describing the move as France's historical commitment to a just and lasting peace in the Middle East. The Prime Minister of Israel, Benjamin Netanyahu, within an hour issued a counter-press statement and said that the State of Israel condemned the decision of France's president to recognize the State of Palestine, stressing that such move by France rewards terror and risks creating another Iran proxy that will be a launch pad to annihilate Israel. According to the President of France, Emmanuel Macron, true to its historic commitment to a just and lasting peace in the Middle East, I have decided that France will recognize the State of Palestine. I will make the solemn announcement at the United Nations General Assembly next September. The urgency is today for the war in Gaza to end and the civilian population to be rescued. Peace is possible. There is an immediate ceasefire, the release of all hostages and massive humanitarian aid to the people of Gaza. We must also guarantee the demilitarization of Hamas, secure and rebuild Gaza. At last, it is necessary to build the State of Palestine, ensure its viability and allow that by accepting its demilitarization and fully acknowledging Israel, it participates in the safety of everyone in the Middle East. There is no alternative. The French want peace in the Middle East. It is up to us, the French, together with Israelis, the Palestinians, our European and international partners, to demonstrate that it is possible. In light of the commitments that the President of the Palestinian Authority made to me, I wrote to him my determination to move forward. Trust, clarity and commitment. We will win peace, the French President stated. In a swift reaction, Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu reacted and said, "We strongly condemn President Macron's decision to recognize a Palestinian state next to Tel Aviv in the wake of the October 7th massacre. Such a move rewards terror and risks creating another Iranian proxy, just as Gaza became. A Palestinian state in these conditions would be a launch pad to annihilate Israel, not to live in peace beside it. Let's be clear, the Palestinians do not seek a state alongside Israel, they seek a state instead of Israel." Meanwhile, it would be recalled that Daily Sabah news media on May 28, 2025 reported that Indonesian President Prabowo Subianto said he would consider diplomatic ties with Israel only if it recognized a Palestinian state, speaking during talks with French President Emmanuel Macron in Jakarta. Indonesia, the world's most populous Muslim majority nation, has no formal ties with Israel and has consistently called for a two-state solution to the decades-long conflict. On various occasions, I have said that Indonesia sees the two-state solution and the freedom of Palestine is the only way to achieve the true peace, he told a news conference. I also emphasized that we must acknowledge and Clearwater Police Department in Florida, United States has confirmed that World Wrestling Champion Terry Bolley aka Hulk Hogan died on Thursday morning around 11:17 a.m. after the personnel of the Clearwater City Fire and Police Departments responded to an emergency medical report at about 9:51 a.m. and administered first aid treatment of cardiac arrest to Hulk Hogan before he was rushed to Morton Plant Hospital where he was pronounced dead. According to the Clearwater Police Department in a video press briefing held a few hours ago, the Clearwater Fire Department and Clearwater Police Department personnel responded to a medical call at 9:51 a.m. today in the 1000 block of El Dorado Avenue on Clearwater Beach. The nature of the call was for a cardiac arrest. A 71-year-old resident, Terry Bolley, also known as Hulk Hogan, was treated by Clearwater Fire and Rescue crews before being taken by Sunstar to Morton Plant Hospital, where he was pronounced deceased. Major Nate Burnside briefed the press about the police and fire response to a medical call involving Terry Bolley, also known as Hulk Hogan. A video of the scene outside Hogan's residence shows responders desperately trying to save his life as he was transported to an ambulance. In the clip, several paramedics appear to be conducting chest compressions as Hogan is wheeled to the emergency vehicle. It may be recalled that a few weeks ago, Hogan's wife, Sky, whom he married in September 2023, denied rumors he was in a coma, stating his heart was strong as he recovered from surgeries. Some local media in the United States had reported last month that Hogan was on his deathbed, but the reports were denied with statements that as at the time he was just dealing with the symptoms of a neck procedure he underwent in May 2025. The global sports icon, Hulk Hogan, undoubtedly transformed professional wrestling into a family entertainment sports. Before Hulk, wrestling catered to a fairly narrow audience. Hulk's theatrics in the ring were magnetic for children and their parents, and it supercharged the sport. Hogan kickstarted a pop culture phenomenon with Hulkamania, after defeating the Iron Sheik for the World Heavyweight Championship in 1984, a craze that never went away, and his signature bandana and handlebar mustache were often copied by fans in crowds for decades. In 1996, Hulk created the NWO, New World Order, and became Hollywood Hulk Hogan. It propelled him and professional wrestling to even more fame. Hogan had countless iconic performances, which included a matchup against Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson at WrestleMania X8 in 2002 and a face-off with Andre the Giant at WM3, and had memorable feuds with Ultimate Warrior and Randy Savage. Hulk was inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame in 2005. He was removed in 2015 after a scandal erupted over racist comments while he was being secretly recorded during a sexual encounter. Gawker posted the clip and Hulk subsequently sued, winning the lawsuit. Hulk was inducted a second time in the WWE Hall of Fame in 2020. This family of the late Nigeria former president, Muhammadu Buhari, on Sunday issued and released a letter of appreciation to people who sent in condolence messages after the former Nigeria president died on Sunday, July 13, 2025 at a London hospital, but the Buhari family mentioned several names they considered as notable people among those who sent in condolences, which some of them did not attend the burial ceremony and apparently ignored three former presidents of Nigeria that were major rivals to the late Muhammadu Buhari's presidency, despite the fact that former presidents Goodluck Ebele Jonathan, GEJ, Ibrahim Badamasi Babangida, IBB, and Olusegun Obasanjo, OBJ, were among the notable personalities in the society to send condolences early enough to the family and the nation at large exactly same day Buhari died, while OBJ personally issued video press release to mourn the death of Muhammadu Buhari. GEJ, after issuing condolence message, visited the family of late Buhari in London the next day to console with the bereaved family, and also, IBB, after mourning the demise of late President Muhammadu Buhari, sent his children led by Mohamed Babangida to Katsina State to pay the family and the people condolence visit over the death of the late former head of state, Muhammadu Buhari, that was ousted out of power as then Nigeria military head of state on August 27, 1985 by IBB in a bloodless coup that led to the arrest and detention of Buhari at a prison facility in Benin City for almost 3 years. Olusegun Obasanjo took over as Nigeria head of state in 1976 after Buhari's close associate in the Nigeria military, Murtala Muhammad, was assassinated on February 13, 1976, a military head of state which Buhari was part of the group of officers that overthrew the government of General Yakubu Gowon and installed the assassinated Murtala Muhammad as head of state after the late Murtala Muhammad led the 1966 Nigerian counter-coup in overthrowing the military regime of Johnson Aguiyi Ironsi and played a major role during the Nigerian Civil War and thereafter ruled Nigeria from the 29th of July 1975, during which he made Muhammadu Buhari became the first governor of Borno State following the division of the northeastern state into Bauchi, Borno, and Gongola states on February 3, 1976. After Obasanjo became military head of state, Buhari served as governor of Borno from February 3, 1976, to March 15, 1976. During the era of Murtala, Buhari was previously appointed as the governor of the northeastern state from August 1, 1975, to February 3, 1976 until the division of the northeastern state and the subsequent creation of 3 states from the region. Obasanjo was a major political contender to Buhari after Nigeria returned to civil rule in 1999. Obasanjo defeated Buhari in the 2003 election and led his political party candidates, Umaru Musa Yar'Adua, Goodluck Ebele Jonathan, to defeat Buhari in 2007, 2011 respectively, and in 2015, Obasanjo. It has been a sad Monday in Dhaka, the capital of Bangladesh, as one of the Bangladesh Air Force training planes crashed on students while they were taking test examinations and some of them attending regular classes at Milestone School and College, with 19 victims already confirmed dead by local authorities while over 100 persons, mostly students, are hospitalized. This, the head of interim government of Bangladesh, Muhammad Yunus, has assured the public that the government of Bangladesh will carry out investigation to ascertain the cause of the military plane crash, as some of the victims were seen walking out from the burning flames with almost completely burnt bodies. It was gathered that the plane crashed immediately after takeoff around 1 p.m. local Bangladesh time, which was 7 o'clock a.m. GTM. According to Hindustan Times, a Bangladesh Air Force F-7BGI training aircraft crashed into a college campus in Dhaka, killing at least 19 and injuring over 100 people. Local media reported that the leaders and activists of Bangladesh Chitra League faced a brutal mob attack while donating blood to save the injured students of the Milestone School plane crash. Military and a fire official said the Bangladesh Air Force F-7BGI aircraft crashed into the campus of Milestone School and College in Dhaka's Uttra neighborhood on Monday afternoon, where students were taking tests or attending regular classes. Saidur Rahman, a National Burn Institute official in Dhaka, told Bangladesh's leading English daily, the Daily Star, reported that the death toll rose to 16 within hours as reported by CNN, and a few hours later, the Daily Star updated its reports to 19 confirmed dead and 100 persons injured. Parents and relatives panicked at the scene as rescuers, using tricycle rickshaws or whatever was available, transported the injured. Rafika Taha, a student at the school who was not present at the time of the crash, said, according to the Associated Press report, that Milestone School and College, with some 2,000 students, runs classes from elementary to 12th grade. On Monday, she said, some students were taking tests while others attended regular classes. I was terrified watching videos on TV, said the 16-year-old student. My God, it's my school. The Bangladesh Army's Public Relations Office confirmed in a brief statement that the downed F-7BGI aircraft belonged to the Air Force. Fire official Lima Khanum stated by phone that at least 1 person died and 4 others were injured, though she did not provide further details. A 3rd grade student was brought in dead, and 3 others, aged 12, 14 and 40, were admitted to the hospital. Bidhan Sarkar, head of the burn unit at the Dhaka Medical College and Hospital, where some victims were taken, said, according to Reuters news agency. Muhammad Yunus, head of Bangladesh's interim government, said, necessary measures would be taken to investigate the cause of the accident and ensure all kinds of assistance. The loss suffered by the Air Force, students, parents, teachers and staff, and others in this accident is irreparable, he said. Yunus also announced that an emergency hotline has been activated at the National Institute as multiple wars in the Middle East appear unabated. Israel, the main defender and attacker on multiple waterfronts in the city of Gaza, Lebanon, Iran, Yemen and now Syria, has ordered the Israel Aerospace Industries, IAI, to mass-produce Arrow missiles interceptors in a very large numbers, with the Israel Ministry of Defense saying that the State of Israel has increased its defense spending for 2025 and 2026 to 42 billion new Israeli shekels, which is approximately $12.5 billion. During the 12-day war with Iran, there were multiple reports that Israel was running low on Arrow missiles interceptors defense system as Iran long-range missiles were seen hitting targets in Israel. Aerospace observers said the advanced Arrow high-altitude defense systems are critical to countering long-range ballistic missile threats, like those launched from Iran during the 12-day war in June 2025. According to the Israel Ministry of Defense in a press statement on Thursday, the Director General of the Israel Ministry of Defense, IMOD, Major General, Reservist, Amir Baram, signed a production contract to significantly accelerate the serial production of Arrow interceptors at IAI, Israel Aerospace Industries. As part of the deal, IAI will supply the IMOD with a significant additional amount of Arrow interceptors. The deal was led by Moshe Patel, Director of the Israel Missile Defense Organization, IMDO, within the ministry's Directorate of Defense Research and Development, DDRD. The Arrow system, developed and manufactured in cooperation with the U.S. Missile Defense Agency, MDA, demonstrated significant interception capabilities during the Swords of Iron War, especially during Operation Rising Lion. The system provides exo-atmospheric and endo-atmospheric interception capabilities against ballistic missile threats, protecting the state of Israel from strategic long-range threats. The Arrow system integrates cutting-edge technologies and is considered one of the world's most advanced air and missile defense systems. IAI is the prime contractor for developing the Arrow system and its interceptors through its MLM facility in partnership with the U.S. company Stark Aerospace. Other partners include IAI's ELTA and TAMAM divisions, Elbit Systems, TOMA, and Rafael Advanced Defense Systems. The U.S. Missile Defense Agency, MDA, is a major partner of the IMDO at the ministry's DDRD in the development and production of Israel's multi-layered defense systems, including the Arrow and David's Sling weapon systems, and the production of Iron Dome defense system components. The strategic cooperation between the MDA and the IMDO helps ensure Israel's technological edge in air and missile defense. Also on Thursday, Israel Aerospace Industries, IAI, in a statement said, Israel is reinforcing its defenses on all fronts, at full speed. In a major move to strengthen national security, the Ministry of Defense has signed a significant production contract with Israel Aerospace Industries, IAI, to fast-track the mass production of Arrow interceptors. This strategic, shortly after Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu returned from the United States, U.S. on Sunday, where he had paid an official visit to the U.S. President, Donald Trump, lawmakers and other U.S. government officials. The misunderstanding between Bedouin and Druze tribes in the Swaida region of Syria that started last Friday took a new twist, evolving into a deadly conflict after a Druze man was robbed at gunpoint on Friday by gunmen suspected to be natives of Bedouin tribe. Druze residents in Swaida shortly on Friday mobilized, went after the people of Bedouin, arrested and detained a lot of natives from the Bedouin tribe, forcing the people of Bedouin to retaliate, and the conflicts led to mass killings, unabated. And on Tuesday, the Syria interim government soldiers entered Swaida reportedly to restore law and order, but Israel-based media reported that the Syria interim government soldiers, mostly members of the Hayat Tahrir al-Sham, HTS, assisted and joined the Bedouin militias to kill the people of Druze, and in a swift response, the office of the Prime Minister of Israel, in a press statement on Tuesday, said, the Prime Minister, Benjamin Netanyahu, and the Israel Minister of Defense, Israel Katz, have authorized the Israel Defense Forces, IDF, to attack Syria interim regime forces led by Syria interim President Ahmed Hussein al-Shara, who Israel Policy Forum, in a publication published in December 2024, stated that the new Syria presents fresh challenges for Israel, stating that the Turkey-backed Sunni jihadist group, Hayat Tahrir al-Sham, HTS, was an al-Qaeda's former Syrian branch, and its leader, Abu Muhammad al-Golani, also known as Ahmed Hussein al-Shara, who is the current interim president of Syria, was a member of an early version of the Islamic State, saying, Golani's chosen last name also foreshadows conflict over territory, that his family hails from the Golan Heights, which Israel partly occupied after the 1973 war and annexed in 1981, Although President al-Shura in nationwide broadcast on Thursday after ceasefire began around 9 p.m. on Wednesday night said that the protection of Druze people is a top priority in his interim government, but he's not afraid of Israel that bombed the Syria military headquarters and the military base near Syria Presidential Palace in Damascus on Wednesday that led to the death of 5 persons in addition to more than 300 people killed. Less than a week the new conflict ensued. According to Reuters reporters, warplanes swooped low over the Syria capital and unleashed a series of massive strikes on central Damascus. The cityscape was blanketed in smoke with a thick plume rising from the defense ministry. We are acting decisively to prevent the entrenchment of hostile elements beyond the border, protect Israeli citizens, and prevent harm to Druze civilians, the Israel Chief of General Staff, Lieutenant General Eyal Zamir stated during a situational assessment at the Syrian border after the IDF strikes on Wednesday. The attacks carried out by Israel, this time on central Damascus, following its military interventions in southern Syria, constitute a deliberate attempt to sabotage Syria's efforts to achieve peace, stability, and security. Turkey
Bringing you the news in a more digital way.